could I see AJ getting him earlier? Could do, but then.
Daniel Dubois for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to have with me over Zoom, Mr. William Crolla. How are we doing, sir?
How you doing, mate? You okay?
Yeah, not too bad. Glad to be speaking to yourself. Fight date creeping closer. Obviously, you're back in the ring, 26th of October. Yeah. 6 months since you've last been out. Through no fault of your own, you were supposed to be on the card of the original Jack Catterall Regis progress date. But ideally, would you like to be out a bit sooner, or are you just excited to get back in there?
Yeah, of course, man. I believe I'm on a good roll. I believe I was on a very good roll, and I would have loved to have boxed them. But listen, it's no one's fault. You know what I mean? It's just been postponed, and I believe there's not too many the boxing shows, and everyone on that card's in the same boat as me. And it's not the only person it's happened to. It's just something I've had to adapt to the first time I've experienced out like it, and it's not throwing my ties out the pram. It is what it is. I stayed in the gym. I stayed improving, and now we're 6 weeks out. We're only 6 weeks out, so we're almost there anyway.
Yeah, definitely feels like there's not as many shows taking place in Britain at the minute, but maybe a conversation for another day. Coming to the end of your second calendar year as a professional, Will, 5 fights so far, 4 stoppages. You'll obviously be hoping to make that 6 and 5. How do you reflect on the first couple of years so far? I mean, you had a long time out of the sport, if I understand it correctly. Teamed up with your brother Ant, of course. You happy with how things are going?
Yeah, like you say, I think I've been pro now about a year and a few months, and it's gone great. I couldn't ask for more than 5 wins, 4 knockouts. Like, I think it's a pretty short record, and the way I'm knocking them out is impressive. They've all been different, but like you say, then I completely intend to carry that on. Like, this is just the start for me. I completely intend to carry it on.
Just how much of a relief was it over the summer when it was announced you'd signed a multi-fight promotional deal with Matchroom? Had there ever been any conversations with any other promoters? I mean, you hear fighters talk a lot about having that security and, knowing there's a plan in place. Just, was there any shift in mentality once you got that actual pen to paper multi-fight deal? Here's the plan, here's what we're going to be doing, that sort of way?
Yeah, like, I believe I always thought I'd get that deal. Like, obviously, before people didn't know I'd just come on the scene as Anthony's brother. I disappeared from boxing for 6 years. No one knew who I was, so I probably just looked like another sibling trying to make a few quid. But I believe now people can actually say I can really fight and that I'm going to do something. And yeah, it's a very proud moment for me when I signed that deal. It's very emotional, and it's something I've always dreamed of and worked for. And it just gives me the backing now. Like I said, I've said many times, it gives me the backing to be the next star from Manchester. I don't think Manchester has anyone at the minute. It's got no one, and there's a massive opportunity for me. And I believe if I don't become that next star, it's on me, because I've got the backing, I've got the name, I've got the fan base, and I've got the city now to try and grow into. And I believe if it don't happen, it's all on me.
You talk about shaking that tag. Obviously, it's no secret your brother was a very successful boxer, revered in Manchester. We see a lot of family members of famous fighters coming in, varying degrees of success. Was that something that you wanted to establish earlier, that you are serious, you're here to make your own name, and you're not just a gimmick living off your brother's name, essentially?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I believe now I'm starting to step out of that light. I believe people are now seeing that I can really fight and that I am going to do something. But like I say, I'm also very straight talking. I wouldn't have got the opportunities I've got without being Anthony's brother. So I'm very thankful on that level now. But now I just want to start stepping out of that light. Like, I'm on my own journey now. Like, I've been signed off my own merits, off my own performances, and I'm glad it's happened that way. I'm very glad it's happened that way.
Absolutely. One thing you've not had a great deal of so far, Will, is rounds. 3 fights ending in the first round, 1 fight in the second, and then 1 go in the 4. We've not had official word, unless I've missed it somewhere, on an opponent for October. Has there been an opponent selected? And ideally, are you looking for someone who's going to give you a few rounds this time?
Yeah, it's a big step up. I don't know if it's been announced yet, so I won't say the last name. He's had 917. He's beat some of the good journeymen in England. So should definitely get in some rounds on paper. But if I go in there and start and perform how I've been sparring with the lads I've been sparring, he's getting the same treatment as the rest of them, and it's going to be another early night, I believe. Another stoppage for me on the 26th of October. But if not, I'm fit. I've been ready for 6 good rounds of him. I'm looking forward to it. It's one where I know if I'm not on the ball that it could be a potential banana skin, and it's a fight that I'm happy I'm glad I wanted to step up. So I want to see people see me in fights. It gets people talking. I believe it's how you build your fan base, is being in good fights, and it's something I look forward to doing.
For sure. You talk about that step up. Is that the plan for 2025 to build into those 6 and 8 rounders? What sort of time scale in an ideal world are you starting fighting for area English titles? I mean, 26, so there's no rush, but I'm assuming you want to get there sooner rather than later.
Yeah, obviously, like you say, I had the long time out, but there are many years where I believe a lot of amateurs gained a lot of miles on the clock. Do you know, we're fighting with no red guards and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like, I don't agree with that still, me. I think amateurs should still wear red guards. It don't make sense to me why they don't, with cuts and stuff like that. But although we're competing, I was just going to the gym. I was still in there, but I believe it's like experience and being there with Ante, the big nights and the fighters he have, played a massive part in it. Like, nothing's new to me with all of this, but I just started my 6 rounds. Obviously, the last one was in the first. I've got a few 6 rounders, a few 8s, and the back end of my deals, maybe 10 rounders. So whatever comes of that, comes of that. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking to see the best of me and then good fights.
What's Anthony made of your progression so far? Is he pleased? I know you've got a very good relationship. Obviously, he's been there and done it, as you say. What's he been telling you as you've progressed this far?
He's just to enjoy it, just to always enjoy it, and that's what I've been doing, man. I've loved every minute of it. But like you say there, like, just because I'm knocking people out, I didn't say it then. I don't want to be rushed. I want I want the fair treatment. All the other prospects I've got, like, I don't want to be just thrown into deep waters because I'm stopping kids, like. And then when I come to these title fights, I'm a bit unstuck. But if I take these step ups and keep blatting them out, then fair enough. That's a credit to myself. But I just don't want to be rushed. But at the same time, I am happy, and I genuinely will fight anyone. Like, I am happy to take these step ups every time.
Good stuff. Well, while I've got you, got to get your thoughts on a couple of the big shows coming up. Less than 2 weeks out now from the Wembley Stadium Riyadh season show. I think one of the most stacked cards we've seen in the UK for a while. Top of it all, you got AJ versus Dubois. Give me your thoughts on it. Who are you leaning towards and why?
I think Dubois is in with a massive shout. I believe the longer the fight goes on, Dubois stands a better chance every round it goes on. Could I see AJ getting him earlier? Could do. But then if Dubois is still there, I think it's very interesting. If you had to make me pick someone, I'd pick AJ, but I think it'll be an hard night.
Absolutely. And last one, I mean, touch wood, we actually see it this time because it was postponed through injury earlier this year. Artur Beterbiev, Dimitri Bivol. I think if you're a boxing fan, it's one of the best fights you're likely to see for many years, not just this year. Break it down for us, Will.
I'm going to go Beterbiev. I think he's a monster, man. He's an absolute monster. I just don't know if Bivol hits hard enough to keep him off. Like, you can say you can outbox him in that, but eventually he's going to pin you down. And like I say, he looks like he hits like an absolute truck. Like, he's like, I don't know, he's like a sim. He's like a creator person, isn't he? He's like, the stuff he does is ridiculous. It's not even human. I remember when he was boxing Callum Smith, a good friend of ours. He was warming up on a treadmill before the fight, and I was like what? And it's a decent pace. I'm watching it thinking, what's going on here? What sort of a man is he? And I thought, I'm just going to go Beterbiev, man. I think he's an absolute tank.
Yeah, I was over in Canada for that Callum Smith fight as well, and he's definitely something else.
I give Callum a massive shout in that fight. Before it, I give Callum a massive shout, and Beterbiev, like, it was just a different class.
Yeah, something else. Well, I really appreciate you speaking to pro boxing fans this afternoon, mate. I'll let you get on. Thanks very much. Looking forward to catching up with you in Fight Week in Manchester, not too far from me either. So yeah, looking forward to it. Cheers, mate.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No.